Headline News.
So, Tom Izzo lost his cool during Michigan State's 76-65 win over Bradley yesterday with the game close late in the second half. Izzo berated freshman Aaron Henry so harshly during the timeout that other players separated them multiple times. He needed a hold me back guy. The outburst made for some uncomfortable couple of minutes of television. And he was, of course, asked about it after the game, and he doubled down.
When you're a freshman now, at this time of year, you don't make mental mistakes on things that when we're telling a guy which way he goes or not running back, or there were some things Aaron didn't do a very good job of. And yet, you know what? Like happened, I did get after him, and he did respond, and he did make a couple big buckets, and he did make some big free throws. But that's not good enough. This is one and done time, The my bads are out the window.
That's a funny line. My bads are out the window.
I get what he's saying. It's crunch time. You can't come over to the huddle and say you made a mistake because of effort, because you didn't get back on defense, or you didn't try hard enough on the loose ball.
Yeah. But
you got to keep some perspective here. Everyone is watching this. It's not a good look. You can't berate a freshman. I mean, Tom Izzo is making $3.5 million. But
you got to be careful about the money, because that's like saying I could treat you like crap if I paid you more.
No, I'm saying that's all the more reason why he shouldn't be acting that way. He should have awareness of the situation.
But
you're not going to get away with this with professionals. There's no way.
Well, yeah, but this is not professional basketball.
Right. It's even worse because these kids are not being paid to be there.
No. I'm saying kids. No. I don't like the idea that if you paid the kids. I don't like the idea that I could ever pay somebody and that allows me to treat them like crap.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Like in high school, I had a coach break a board over my knee, a clipboard. I don't think he meant to. But my whole point was, in the end, is yelling is part of sports. I had really great coaches, but I had screamers. And it's okay because everybody in my huddle, when that happened, were like, we love you, man. When I watch this picture, here's what I see. The players, the coach never touches the player. The players touch the coach. This is a family. They relate to each other. When I yell at my daughter, my son defends my daughter. Dad, you're being too. That's what love is. That's what families are. They're intense and uncomfortable. Look at all those players. They literally go, Coach, he's going to learn. That's like what families do.
I understand. I understand what you're saying, but
I love that it is intense.
It's too much. Like it's too much. Every player that I have heard talk about it was like that. That's not how that's supposed to go down. There's yelling. There's intensity. There's chastising after a play, and then there's that. You can't have finger waving.
Oh, look at this.
Have a player literally holding Izzo back with both hands. I mean, look, they're pulling him back to sit him down. Like it's too much. It's too much.
Okay,
it's not
art
right.
Isn't perfect, right? Like people spill paint. Sports isn't perfect. People yell and scream.
I'm not saying yelling and screaming is fine.
Yeah,
he took it to another level.
It didn't bother me at all. I thought it was really intense and really. By the way, then you look at him right here. They're just talking. That's what families do. Families yell and scream. You know what would bother me? If Tom Izzo walked up to a kid on the street and started screaming at him, I'd be like, you have no relationship.
No, I think everything matters in context, of course. If he's yelling at some kid on the street like this, it's of course inappropriate. But I'm not saying that yelling and screaming doesn't happen. I'm saying it would never be accepted on the professional level. Because no professional is going to allow another man to talk to him like that.
But by the way, it does happen all the time in the NFL. Where the coaches, you ever watch Hard Knocks? It's brutal. The basketball culture has become so pro-player that we cringe with that. Tom Brady and Josh McCown are screaming at each other.
I don't think it's new that we've been cringing with that. I mean, I don't think like the Bob Knight era.
No, Bob Knight touched players. That I hated. Bob Knight would get. We have video of Bob Knight hitting kids. Izzo is screaming.
I'm not saying that he was going to get physical with him. I'm saying the optic of it is not
bad,
great.
right.
It's not great. All right, so John Morant had an early breakout star game in the NCAA tournament, as we all kind of expected. It was an exciting game. Murray State 83-64 upset win over Marquette. Morant scored 17 points, 16 assists, and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, he's fun.
And he only took 9 shots the entire night, went 5 of 9 shooting, and he notched a rare tournament triple-double.
He's really a fascinating player. There's a Westbrook component, but he's really a natural passer.
He is a great passer.
He's a really great passer.
After the game, Ja's father sent a message to Zion Williamson.
Oh, Lord.
Is there anything before 1? You hear that? Is there anything before 1? Yeah, 0. Let him go 0. He before 1. What he did out here proved that he's the best player in the country in college.
Well, he's going to be 1 or 2. I'd say he's 2, but he's really good.
I have no problem with that. I mean, it's
Yeah,
that he just had an incredible game in the tournament.
He's a great player.
Everyone's making the comparison to Russell Westbrook. I actually think it's a closer comparison to Baron Davis at UCLA. Because Baron and Ja are more fluid. You know, they're very athletic. Russ is just relentless force, high motor.
Actually, that's
energy.
a really good. He has a.
Baron Davis is very cerebral, and that's kind of the feeling that you get with him. I mean, he's a highlight reel, but it's just a slightly different feel.
Yeah, no, he
plays very long.
Yeah, no, Baron Davis is a really good prototype. That's a very good. I forget Baron's college career because I think he's a much more natural passer than Westbrook. Like Westbrook is. I mean, you like him and you'd acknowledge he's sort of tunnel vision.
Like, no, that's what I'm saying. Like he's just force. It's just a downhill.
He's an avalanche of just.
Just energy, right? Very high motor, and he's more of a fluid player. He's just the passes that you see him make they're LeBron-esque, but just with a different feel.
You know what I love with both him and Zion? They really play with joy. They love the game.
They're so fun to watch for that reason.
Oh, they're both just going to be great NBA players.
No, he's going to be an all-star for sure. And he has so much room for improvement. I mean, his three-point shooting has improved 30 to 35% from this year last year. Once he gets in the strength program and the diet.
By the way, can we slow down on criticizing college players shooting? They have classes.
Yeah.
They have midterms. There's limitations on practice.
Well, I mean, it's all the information that we have on them. But it's keep it on perspective.
Ray Allen didn't shoot like that in college.
Right, and it's going to and both him and Zion are going to have what all rookies have in their first year in the NBA. They're going to hit a wall. There's many more games. There's going to be a growth period for both of them, but it's exciting to see them making this transition. And finally, the GOAT conversation will probably always dominate basketball conversations. Kobe Bryant revealed his true feelings about it on the issue to ESPN. He said, "It's hard for people to believe, but I really don't care. I've moved on. You have a career. You do the best you can for the 20 years I was fortunate to play, and then you shelf it. You're done. You move on to the next thing. Now I'm focused on these next 20 years. Those debates are entertaining. I'm sure it's fun for people to engage on those. But for me personally, it doesn't matter."
I believe him. I really do.
I believe him too. Yeah. I mean, I think Kobe thinks he's the best, but I also think he doesn't care if people don't think